Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. General Hospital fans slammed Kristina for hurtful speech involving baby's death. On Tuesday, General Hospital, Kristina continues to mourn the loss of the baby she was carrying for her sister Molly and TJ. While she was mourning, she said something that offended fans. General Hospital fans did not like this particular part of Kristina's grieving speech. On Tuesday's General Hospital, Kristina went to the grave of baby Irene, who Kristina calls Adela instead since that's her name of choice for her baby. Even though Kristina agreed to be a surrogate for her sister, her plans of keeping the baby was fully revealed and confirmed since the loss of the baby. While at the baby's grave, Kristina apologized to her for what happened at the baby's funeral while holding a sorcerer Mickey Mouse stuffed toy. Kristina continued apologizing, saying Molly was wrong and that she would have never gone to that hotel room if she knew she was going to put the baby in danger. She sobbed as the pouring rain fell on her, saying she wished she could go back in time. Kristina cried harder and said she doesn't want to be without the baby and that she loves her. General Hospital star Adam J. Harrington breaks silence on Axe as fans say it's a huge loss. General Hospital fans post "I stand with Kelly Monaco" in show of solidarity after actress was blindsided by show Axe. It was this part of Kristina's speech to the baby that fans had a problem with. "I love you so much, love only a mother could know. And it's not Molly's fault, she doesn't understand our connection. How could she? You grew inside me." Fans of the ABC soap were not keen about that line and felt it was not only disrespectful to Molly in the show, but also to real-life mothers who do not or cannot physically carry their own children. One fan on X, formerly Twitter, wrote, "Molly needs to beat Kristina's every time she sees her and dares Sonny or Alexis to say or do anything about it." A second fan said, "This is beyond gross and insensitive. Some of the best mothers I know didn't give birth to their children. You do not have to carry a child to be a mother. Shame on you, yet again." Another said, "Dear #GH, my close friend died last year. She has 2 surviving children. She used a surrogate in creating her family. Her love for her children is real and endures beyond her death, and beyond the hurtful dialogue by Kristina today." The air in the Metro Court ballroom was thick with anticipation. It was supposed to be a night of celebration, a fundraiser organized by Sonny Corinthos to benefit the newly established Charles Street Community Center. Attendees were dressed in their finest, mingling with Port Charles elite, sipping champagne, and exchanging pleasantries. But beneath the glittering surface, tension simmered, threatening to boil over at any moment. Kristina Corinthos Davis, ever the passionate advocate, had been asked to give a speech, a task she eagerly accepted. This wasn't just any cause for her, it was personal. The community center was a beacon of hope, a place for those who, like her, had faced life's darkest moments and come out on the other side. She wanted her words to resonate, to inspire change, to bring light to the struggles so many in the community faced. But as she took to the stage, microphone in hand, no one could have predicted the storm her words would unleash. "Good evening, everyone," Kristina began, her voice steady but charged with emotion. "I want to start by thanking you all for being here tonight. Your generosity is what will keep the doors of the Charles Street Community Center open, offering support and resources to those who need it most. But I also want to talk about why places like this are so important. It's not just about providing a safe space. It's about understanding the pain and loss that so many carry with them every day." She paused, her eyes scanning the room, catching sight of her sister, Sam McCall, standing near the back, her expression unreadable. Kristina took a deep breath before continuing. When we talk about loss, it's easy to think of it in abstract terms, as something distant. But for many of us, loss is a constant companion, a shadow that lingers over everything we do. Some of us have lost loved ones to violence, to illness, or to circumstances beyond our control. And some of us have lost in ways that are too painful to put into words, like losing a child. The room fell deathly silent. A few murmurs rippled through the crowd as the weight of Kristina's words settled over them. Sam's face tightened, a flicker of anxiety crossing her features as she realized where her sister was heading. Kristina, oblivious to the unease she was causing, pressed on, her voice growing more impassioned. We don't talk enough about the grief of losing a child. We don't talk about how that kind of loss can shatter you, can make you question everything you thought you knew about yourself, about life. It's a pain that doesn't just go away. It stays with you every single day. In the crowd, Willow Tate's hand instinctively went to her stomach, where she had carried the baby she lost not so long ago. The wound was still fresh, the pain still raw, and Kristina's words felt like salt being rubbed into it. Beside her, Michael Corinthos tensed, his jaw clenched as he struggled to keep his composure. Kristina continued, her voice trembling slightly. But what I've learned is that even in the darkest moments, there is a way forward. We have to be willing to face our pain, to confront it, and to use it to build something better. We can't let it destroy us. We have to let it fuel us, to push us to fight for a world where no one has to experience that kind of loss alone. The speech, intended to be empowering, had instead struck a nerve. In the audience, eyes began to narrow, and whispers grew louder. Kristina, still unaware, finished her speech with a fervent plea for support for the community center, urging everyone to dig deep and give what they could. She stepped down from the podium, expecting applause, but was met with an uneasy silence. It wasn't long before the backlash began. On social media, the response was swift and unforgiving. Fans of General Hospital took to Twitter, Facebook, and online forums to voice their outrage. Kristina's speech, which she had meant to be a heartfelt exploration of grief, was instead perceived as insensitive and hurtful, especially by those who had experienced similar losses. How could Kristina stand up there and talk about losing a child like it's some kind of motivational story? One user wrote, "She has no idea what that kind of pain is like. This was completely tone deaf." Another fan commented, "I get that she was trying to make a point, but Kristina crossed a line. There are so many people in that room who have lost children. How could she not see how hurtful her words were?" The criticism was relentless. Viewers who had once sympathized with Kristina's struggles now found themselves questioning her judgment, her empathy. The speech had come off as self-righteous, a misguided attempt to connect with an experience she had never personally endured. And in doing so, Kristina had unwittingly alienated those who had. Back in Port Charles, the fallout was just as intense. Sam confronted her sister the next morning, her voice shaking with a mixture of anger and hurt. "Kristina, what were you thinking?" Sam demanded. "Do you have any idea how many people you hurt with that speech? You can't just talk about losing a child like it's some abstract concept. You were talking to people who have actually lived through that nightmare." Kristina, taken aback, tried to defend herself. "Sam, I was just trying to make a point. I wanted people to understand how important it is to face our pain, to not let it consume us." "But you don't know what that kind of pain feels like," Sam shot back. "You've never lost a child. You don't get to stand up there and tell people how they should deal with something you've never experienced." It was insensitive, and it hurt a lot of people. As the days passed, Kristina found herself increasingly isolated. The people she had hoped to inspire now viewed her with suspicion, even disdain. The backlash reached Sonny, who, despite his love for his daughter, couldn't ignore the damage her speech had caused. In the end, Kristina issued a public apology, acknowledging that her words had been hurtful and that she hadn't intended to cause pain. But the damage was done. The fundraiser, meant to be a night of unity and hope, had instead become a source of division. The community Kristina had sought to uplift now looked at her with doubt, questioning whether she truly understood the struggles she claimed to champion. For Kristina, it was a harsh lesson in the power of words and the importance of knowing when to speak and when to listen.